Kamala Harris is having her moment in the sun. I heard you guys talking about this on your show. And she's in a great mood, and she actually has reason to be. Her books are selling fast, like wildfire. 350,000 copies sold so far, which is actually really good. I actually can't wait to see when she hits the New York Times bestseller list if she has the little asterisk next to her number, which not everybody knows means that you used bulk sales to get there. Bulk sales are basically a way of saying, here's $50,000, go buy my book. And some very prominent authors, not my husband, but authors you would know, do this. Always look for the asterisks to see whether they've done that. But in any event, obviously she's got a lot of book sales. And here's just a little sampling of how she's sounding these days. This is her on TikTok Tuesday evening. Her big event was Monday, but this was posted on Tuesday. It's out 30.
I have had the experience many people have had or will have had this experience of walking into a room and being the only one that looks like you or has had your life experience. And my request of you is that when you walk in that room, you walk in that room chin up and shoulders back, knowing that we are all in that room with you and you are not alone, and you carry the voice of so many people who are proud that you are in that room and expect your voice to be strong.
She can't do it. She cannot do it. She's desperately trying to be Oprah, and she can't be Oprah. And as it turns out, Oprah is kind of a psychopath. I'm going to do a piece on this at some point. Honestly, we were raised by wolves, those of us who watch that show religiously. I figured it out at 54. In any event, Kamala Harris is not even as good as the fake Oprah, never mind the real one. And I don't know, you guys. You seem to be very bullish on her newfound confidence and think that this sales number is going to encourage her to actually run again. I mean, I'll start with you on that, Andrew. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Why? I mean, I love it. I want it, but why?
I think, well, all politicians operate inside a bubble, and in her bubble, this reinforces the view that she's still anointed, and she will go forward, and I think she will run again. I think the Washington Post, though, had a great. They said her book tour is even less compelling than her campaign. I think sort of describes it. It's been a shock to me. I will say this. I have not read the book. I've read the excerpts that were in the Atlantic, and I've read about it. And it does seem there's some juicy tidbits in the book, and maybe it's a better book than we expected in that regard. It doesn't seem like it's a great campaign book, so I do expect a second book before she runs, especially because this one's been such a hit. I think she's running. I think the campaign's on, and I think she's gunning for those people who will be on the dais with her in the first debate right now. In the book, she goes after them, sort of one by one.
I don't think Republicans could ask for more, because you have this terrible candidate who now has this artificially inflated sense of self because whoever wrote that book for her managed to make it juicy enough that people want to buy it. Even people who don't like her are buying it because they want to hear her, sling all the mud at these other Democrats. So this has inflated her to the point where she actually thinks she can do this, which she definitely cannot. Puts her back in the primary, which now we're going to get to see the info. Now we're really going to get to see them go after each other. Pete Buttigieg is going to be like, how gay am I, Kamala? You're the bigot, right? Everybody she took aim at, Josh Shapiro, all of them, Tim Walz, who knows who's going to be up there next to her, AOC. And it's going to be the free-for-all that we've wanted. And I don't think I'm a good enough person for God to actually make her the nominee again and for us to have that race. But I might be. I'm pretty good. So I don't know. Tom, Carl, what do you guys think?
Can you imagine they're going to be on the debate stage and Pete Buttigieg is going to say, that little boy was me, Kamala. He's going to be, do up t-shirts. It would be awesome. Look, I do think this is, and by the way, I do think this is somewhat, I find it hard to believe that she is selling out all these places. I mean, again, she's coming to Chicago. I said this on our program the other day. She's coming to our show, or coming to Chicago on, I think, the 11th of October. And I was like, oh, it's on a Saturday. I'll go check the tickets. You could barely get in the door for over $100. And people were paying, the average ticket price was like $500 or $600. If you want to sit up front, it was like $3,000 or something. I mean, it was like,
what?
Who are all these people? I think there's a certain level of astroturfing going on here. It is bulk sales of the book, I think.
Tom, you are obligated to go see her. And here's why. I'm going to remind Megyn, she listens to our social, she'll remember this. You said the tickets cost more to see Kamala Harris than to go to the Cubs game.
Yes.
Somebody took you to the Cubs-Padres game yesterday. So now you have to go to
That's true. That is
Harris
true.
because you have that money in your pocket. And you know what, Tom? You can put it on your expense account.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Carl.
Nice.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you owe it to us, Tom.
I do think
and just bust out your iPhone. Get one of those expensive tickets. Sit up by the front. Bust out your iPhone. And if you could shout out a question, that would be amazing. Like, I don't know. Ask her to do one of her accents.
No, but I do think one of the side effects of this, especially if it is not all organic and there isn't this sort of, groundswell of support for Kamala Harris, which I really do doubt. But one of the side effects of that is going to be it is reinforcing this idea among her and her team that, my gosh, people really do want to hear from Kamala. They do still like her and want to see her, run again. And so I think that may end up being one of the products. I don't think, by the way, even if she does run, she's not going to win the primary. I just don't see how she could possibly do that.
You already have your candidate. You said it's AOC. You said she's going to run.
I think she's going to run too. I think 2028 is going to be a free for all on the Democratic side. I think you've got.
Can I ask you too before I toss it to Carl? When does 2028 get started? Not January 1st, 2028, but like when does it get started? The race.
It started a month ago when Gavin Newsom said he was running. It's on.
Yeah,
right now.
It's exciting.
There's a shadow primary that's going on right now.
She went back
in it, and
she went back into her book, and I think I'm making this up. So, and put that thing about Gavin Newsom texting her when she asked for his endorsement, and Gavin held a press conference about it and said kind of puckishly, "Well, I was one of the first people to endorse her. I endorsed her within hours of that text." I'm sure that's in the book too. Well, he knew it wasn't, as Andy pointed out. So it's on right now. They're running.
Yeah. I actually thought that was the most respect I've had for Gavin Newsom, where he didn't call her back. Just for the listening audience who hadn't heard, she said when in that period after Biden passed the baton to her, she was trying to garner support so that nobody else pushed for an open primary. It was just going to be hers to run with. She was calling all these Dems like, back me, endorse me. And she said with Gavin Newsom, she called him and she got a responsive text that just said, hiking. And then
we'll call back. Yeah.
He was one of the first. He was one of the first to come out and back Joe Biden to the hilt immediately when this whole thing after the debate happened, because he knew that if he didn't, it was his best chance of winning and becoming the next nominee. If Kamala Harris did, she's his ultimate rival, and so he was pretty clear about which side he was on right from the jump.
Yeah, the ultimate tell that she's running will be when she starts her podcast. That seems to be the thing you have to do, right? So,
wait, is Megyn running for president?
No, but I'm a better person than I thought I was, because there's no way God would give me these gifts otherwise. If Kamala Harris starts a podcast, I promise to personally promote it every day. I will personally we will be on that like white on rice. We will be making sure we monitor every word she says.
She can title it Unburdened.
Yes, perfect. There you have it.
And she could do all in-depth specials on her school bus fetish, her Venn diagrams.
Yeah. Don't forget the Venn diagrams.
The duality.
Maybe underestimating her. Listen, the alchemy here is, and I like your theory on it, Megyn. We don't have one. These halls that she's selling out, if she had announced previously to this book that you could come here for free, they wouldn't have been sold out. So now people are paying exorbitant amount of money. So what is going on?
How is that? Yeah. Or are they getting paid to go there? Is there some donation being made to some group they belong to, and then they're being sent over there? I mean, that campaign had $2 billion, and they're used to finding a way to fill seats with people who didn't otherwise want to be there.
Same idea as bulk book sales, right? You buy a bunch of tickets and hand them out.
Yeah. Look, guys,
I want to
I will
try this next
entertain
time
that
I write a
possibility.
book.
However, I will say this. That book is on track to be one of the 10 bestsellers of the year. I don't think you can do that all through sales like this. I mean, if these trends continue, it's going to be a legitimate bestseller.
Andy, you're so naive.
No, you might be right, because Steve Krakauer was telling me that at least on week one, she didn't have the asterisks. So either they are legit individual sales, or she found a way around it, which also I don't put past her team. I mean, they've found, you would have to have a way of showing fake popularity if you're running Kamala Harris's campaign. And let's not forget, this is the same team largely that ran Joe Biden's campaign and actually tried to make him look alive. I mean, an even greater challenge 4 years earlier, and then again when he ran for re-election. So like, these are, they're talented people. They couldn't get the ball over the end zone, but like, they are talented people. Did you know gold is up around 40% this year? That's not speculation. That is reality. And if a portion of your savings is not diversified into gold, you're missing the boat. Here are the facts. Inflation, still too high. The U.S. dollar, still too weak. And the government debt is still growing. This is why central banks are flocking to gold. They're the ones driving prices up to record highs. But it's not too late to buy gold from Birch Gold Group and get in the door right now. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. You don't pay a dime out of pocket. Just text MK to 989898 and claim your free info kit. There's no obligation. There's just useful information. The best indicator of the future is the past, and in this case, the present. Gold has historically been a safe haven, and it's doing gangbusters right now. So text MK to 989898 right now to claim your free info kit on gold. Text MK to 989898. Protect your future today with Birch Gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.